Call this meeting to order. I'm gonna do roll call.
Certainly. Mayor Waterman,
Here.
trustee Balaguer,
Yes.
trustee Comodina,
Yes.
trustee Boggs is absent, trustee Davis,
Here.
trustee Hinkleman,
Present.
and trustee Krogman is absent. The clerk is here, the treasurer is here, and attorney Graham Lee is here, and we do have quorum.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Everybody had a chance to read the minutes from last month?
Yep.
Yep.
Look good to me, motion to approve the minutes for the June meeting, or the July meeting, I'm sorry.
You made the motion to approve, which one, Steve?
July, here, the minutes you're discussing.
Everybody read them, anybody want a second?
I wasn't here, so I don't have any say.
I'll second.
Okay, and all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion's carried.
Table last month's minutes, because we didn't have enough people there, didn't we? That was at that meeting. That we did.
At your special meeting.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't there for that.
I wasn't either. You only got two people that were.
Yeah. We can't table that again, huh? Okay, moving on.
Lisa?
Treasurer's report.
I don't know if everybody's read it. As far as bills to be paid in August on that sheet, I received a couple of more bills after I had typed this up. One of them is for what is this thing? It's
Tractor room.
tractor room to put down at the pavilion for like building fires and stuff, so it's not going all over the yard down there, and that bill is for $52.98. And, we keep receiving from Illinois Department of Revenue a back bill from June of 2010 for $280. We've been working with Trish over at Office Express. She has sent numerous letters when Rick and you guys.
Can I comment?
Yes,
We sent that and, didn't get, I think it was Jim's signature or Mike's on it. So it came back.
right.
We sent it right back. And it was months later. Well, they got their money, you know.
Right, they did get their money, but they
But
said they didn't get
no,
the
they're
sign.
paying the penalty on us because we had messed up the first portion of it. And we only got a window period where it was sort of time. So that's where we're at with it. I don't know if you can ever resolve it with them people. I have no
That's
idea.
So this is a penalty that they're sending.
Yeah,
you
they got paid.
Mhm.
And we were trying to do
They
all
got-
this revenue stuff. That thing there keeps bouncing back because some snidely little guy in the office over there says, you didn't do it on time, so I want, what is it, $280 or something?
$280,
Yeah, so.
and the tax you paid
You
was
can either, you can either
$22.
just keep bouncing it around for another 3-4 years, or you can just pay it. I don't have any idea what to do with it, because it keeps coming back.
Bill's 22 and the.
$22.10.
The late charge is 280.
Yeah.
That goes up about weekly, so I think we better.
It may be best to just resolve it, because it's 3 years. It's
I know
2 or
we've
3
been
years.
fighting with it every month, and she's
I've been
even
fighting it,
sent
and
certified.
she can't resolve it, so.
Trish has sent numerous,
Mike was
well,
in
not
on
before you took it, Trish sent numerous letters and emails and everything else to them. They just refuse to respond to anything, and just keep sending the letters,
Is
so.
this the Illinois Department of Revenue? Yeah, they need the money, so, if they just keep spending it, they figure that somebody will send something, just get them off of that. So a couple $100, I guess, probably wouldn't hurt. I don't, it was our mistake at the time.
I just advise to pay it and be done.
You guys can do and pay it, I tell
Take
you,
it out of our hair.
probably, I would just.
Greg, what do you recommend?
Make the motion. Gonna spend more time fighting it for $280.
Well, it's
Well,
gonna
that
keep
two
going up.
hundred and eighty will just keep going up.
And
It probably started out at
Bottom line
$20
is-
3 years ago.
Steve, I think it's still the same place it was. There's
Oh,
not
yeah.
there's not any increase on it, but they just keep saying,
I think
okay,
Mike's
this is
right.
what you owe, it's the same thing. But
They had us
they
over a
refuse
barrel,
to even,
and-
they refuse to even talk to you about it, they refuse to answer any correspondence, they refuse to do anything except say, no, just send it, you owe it, and we don't.
fighting means you're gonna compound your expenses and eventually you're very, could possibly end up having to pay it anyway if they force the issue.
They'll end up
So the
putting
bill
it
keeps
on.
coming back with the same dollar amount.
It'll never go away, I don't think. It's still coming back,
So,
so.
well, it's,
I make a motion that we pay the IRS the $280.
I'll second that.
Okay, one other.
Gonna need a voice.
Roll call. Trustee Valiger,
Yes.
trustee Comodina,
Yes.
trustee Davis,
Yes.
trustee Hinkleman,
Yes.
motion is carried.
Okay, we have our big CD coming due, August 19th. Blackhawk Bank has quoted me some rates today. The problem with getting rates from anybody is rates change weekly. So, I mean, I don't know what you guys wanna do. I mean, when it gets to the time, we only have 10 days from the time it matures to make our decision.
Matures on the 19th.
Yeah.
And your experience
And
is the
right-
rates are similar all the way around the local area here.
Yeah, usually. Blackhawk usually pretty much beats them. I mean, right now, the current rate is 0.85. And we can get that rate if we go 18 months, otherwise for 12 months, it's 0.70.
And, dollar amount we got in there, we're talking serious
I
peanuts.
gave every
Yeah,
165.
yeah. The interest on it was 354 the way it looks. It's the last time.
No, I see nothing coming up that's serious that we need to do anything other than just let it roll, so I'll make a motion we roll it as it sits.
For the 12 months.
Yeah.
I'll second that.
Will they lock that rate in here today as you do that now?
Yeah.
25? 0.85?
For 12 months, it's 0.70.
Well, whatever. Okay.
Yeah.
That's what the last one was, that's fine.
The last one was 0.85. The rate right now,
The February one was 0.7.
huh,
I
Unless they
was talking
changed
for the smaller one, right?
The
Right.
smaller one was
Yeah.
0.7.
Small one,
That's part of the smaller
The
one.
yeah, a year ago, yeah, right.
that one don't come due until February of 14, the smaller CD.
Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and do a roll call vote on that, to let the, CD roll over for 12 months at the 0.70%, correct?
Yep.
Yes.
All right. So trustee Comodina,
Yes.
trustee Davis,
Yes.
trustee Hinkleman,
Yes.
and trustee Valier.
Yes.
Motion is carried.
I don't know if you wanna,
Hang on, you done?
Do you wanna talk about this, Roy? Or do you wanna wait till you get to that ordinance? Okay.
Let's talk about a credit card, please, while we're on money. I don't know if you guys looked through this financial. Everybody's getting reimbursed. I think we should let Lisa have a credit card so that, when she's getting supplies, she doesn't have to use her money. I don't have to use my money. Somebody else doesn't have to use their money. There's a lot of this is just reimbursement. You know, we went to Office Max, we spent a couple $100. You go to fuel a truck, it's 70-some bucks.
We can't get an account somewhere, fuel the truck.
Could. Got supplies for this place.
It's just a thought, we're throwing it out.
Yeah, I guess I'm just leaning towards it's,
We tried it 10 years ago and nobody wanted to do it.
I just think it's not that big a deal. I understand where you're coming from, Steve, but if we can get account somewhere, I mean, I can't believe that we can't open an account at Office Max or wherever we're doing business with. And
We can, it's very hard to open in Charge County anywhere as of like a month ago, but it can be done, it's just a lot of paperwork.
I'd rather see us do that.
Shauna doesn't mind the paperwork.
Used to it by now.
I'd rather see us do that than start having credit cards, debit cards, whatever on the accounts. It's just one more thing we don't need to deal with. The accounts and that way it's a bill that comes in and we vote on it at the next meeting and pay the bill. It's usually 30 days on.
Well, like Firestone, when we went to pick up the truck, we had to pay for it, well, Steve paid for it.
Yes, if they debit if you write a check, a lot of them will take that check and debit.
Yeah,
debit
I
the
guess
check.
we didn't think to take a check.
I know Walmart does it, we did it for us.
Do they?
And you get it right off that.
Yeah,
Well,
that's fine, it was just a thought that the treasurer could
and
have.
that's fine, I don't care.
Well, while we're on the subject though, the fuel for the truck now, winter's gonna come upon us and we start plowing snow with the emergency fuel. We talked about, or I said something to Steve one time, I believe, about maybe seeing if BJ's would give us a credit down there for our fuel. We wanna check into that?
Sure. Makes sense to me.
It would just be for fuel for the pickup only, for the plow truck. Okay, well, I stopped down there and talked to them. I talked to them there one other time already about it. Liddy said that they had talked to somebody one other time and thought that they was gonna go ahead and do it. And
Well, they have one over here for the last 8 or 10 years up here at Shell, and I don't know what happened to that. And then
So
Jim would go to BJ's and write a check right there, we'd write one and go over there blank, and he'd write that out right there. So you can do that too, I mean,
Okay.
same thing as a credit card,
Mm-hmm.
as long as you got 2 signatures and you're ready to rock and roll there, and leave it blank. That's up to you, but credit card is a problem later on, and also writing yourself checks can be a problem also. Not a big deal, I just go up here and get an account, they'll probably give you one right here. They used to bill us, I just can't remember how long ago it was, and they changed owners or something, I don't know.
it'll be up to Ford, would they rather check with Shell or would they rather check with like BJ's down here or?
Wherever you want to get it, you're gonna have to do paperwork no matter where
Well,
you.
you're better off right here, it's close. That's no gets deep.
They're both open about the same amount of hours, so.
Keep it close. Works for me.
One thing we don't want to get diesel there though. Don't get diesel at Shell. They sell bio, you don't want bio. Does Bud sell, does BJ's never sell bio? No, we don't really need diesel, it's what we use in the tractor anyway, so we have that taken care of.
On accounts, there's also one over at Anchor. I don't know if anybody's ever changed it. I know my name's still on
It's
it.
FS over there by Anchor.
No,
All
no,
the accounts.
Anchor, picking up supplies.
They're all pretty much closed out. If you haven't used them in a year, they're closed out, and you have to do new paperwork as of that month
Okay,
for
I
anything.
didn't, I know that you were on it too, but I don't know if it's
Yeah.
still live.
bills for the month of August, she brought up that, bought a tractor in from work today. I brought the receipt in. If the board doesn't want to discuss that right now, that's fine, we can just leave that off. I did it because you have, when we have people renting the pavilion, then they would have a designated place for a flyer, instead of building one here this time, building one there next time, they're all over the place. If you have a nice room there, they know where they're gonna build their flyer. So, it's up to you, whether you wanna leave that on, all of this month, and we can talk about it later, or you wanna put it on this month.
Can I add to that? I'll put a grill in there.
You put it
When
on.
it was built, one of the grill, never got a grill and a fireplace. I mean, I know Steve built it, and we wanted a grill, I don't know, something that's there, that you can put charcoal in it, it stays there permanently. It's up to you to do it, if you're gonna talk about it, doing it, do that. Any added to the pavilion. I've had to drag over charcoal grills over it. Not a big deal.
Sounds like a good idea.
And then the beer dispenser over there also. Never,
As long as you're filling it with.
I would,
We have to have some kind of a locked container if we brought a grill over, so we didn't get vandalized or.
Well, I
Well,
think he's
no,
talking
he's-
about putting,
He's talking about like an iron grate over the top of what you're
Oh.
gonna have there. Correct.
This is six.
well, no, it's
No,
got
it's like a
flavor
part
one,
grill,
that's
yeah.
one separate that
Oh,
you
okay,
close
all right,
it,
I
and
see.
still charcoal in it. So it would be there all the time.
you concrete them in and
Concrete them in, and then you can't run off with
We
it.
can look into the price of that and see what we can do with it. We still got some money in the park fund to be able to do stuff like that. so.
Right,
We can check into that and
Sure.
bring price to the board next month.
as far as vandalism, I don't see much going on over there as far as vandalism.
It's been pretty good.
Okay, are you done, Lisa?
I'm done.
Motion to approve financial report with the RIM included.
Second that.
And roll call vote would be trustee Davis,
Yes.
trustee Hinkleman,
Yes.
trustee Balaguer,
Yes.
trustee Comodina.
Yes.
Motion is carried.
Steve, are you gonna bring this up?
Yeah, I'll do it under old business, how's that? I wanna take time away from
Okay, well, I talked with, we got to get on the phone today with, the attorney and, requesting that $800, and he tells me that it's sitting in his trust account, it was to be something that, is now a moot question, so it's gonna be returning $800.
You gonna send that back to the village, or?
Well, if he sends me, I'll give it to him, if he sends it to me directly, that's fine,
One way or the other.
Thank you, Graham.
Thank you very much. We found the truck title. Shauna Duncan got on the phone to Jack Richardson, he led her in a direction, and we found the truck title.
Where was that?
It's buried in a folder behind the door in a cabinet.
Voila.
Voila.
I told you to call Jack.
Do some deep digging, it's amazing what you find. We're gonna find the deeds now, though, those are still up in the air.
The property deeds from buyout.
Yeah.
Family,
I
let
don't
them
know
put it
where
in
it's
the-
at.
They used to be in the lockbox and they're not in the lockbox.
Do you have them, Brent?
I know when I was on board, they were in the lockbox
We
in
can get
Silvis,
copies from the
and they're
county if
gone
we ask
now.
for it.
30 of them or whatever.
They're
Yeah.
gone. They're not in the lockbox in Kelowna, so.
We can get, copies from the county if we need to, but that's just, what lots they are. Anybody know what lots they are? I mean, at worst case scenario, that can be done. I don't know that you need it, if it's a matter of a record, it's on record, that you own them, and that's,
Right.
you can always get it if you want it from the county.
I tried to go down and get a deed for property and we paid it off, and they said they didn't do stuff like that anymore.
I mean, you get a copy from them if you want.
We're still missing the law books too. Mike, you have any idea where they're at?
I don't have none.
I never did see them, I don't even know what they look like. I never went through them books. I know that Gary had them at one time. Gary, you got law books, Gary?
When I left office, they were in the possession of the clerk with, under lock and key.
About those fancy nameplates that we spent $400 on.
Well, I got my, I mean, if you want it back, I'll let you have it back.
No, no.
It says my name on it.
We wanted you to have it.
Oh,
We was gonna present it to you and Mike and Jimmy and everybody, but we couldn't find them to do that.
Yeah, I had it, took it home, showed it to my grandkids, and I said, what's treasure? You don't wanna know.
As far as the rest of them, where, does anybody know where the rest of them disappeared to?
Pretty much.
I have mine.
Pretty much everybody's got them.
I don't have mine.
I don't have mine.
They should have been sitting in there.
Didn't find them either.
They were in the cabinet below the copy paper. In a box.
All right, yeah. Anything else on that, Steve?
Municipality books that we bought, them that were all checked out.
Yeah,
The
nobody.
municipal book, I
And
gave mine from 2006 or 7
we
to
just
Taryn.
bought like 3 of them, all Taryn
I
got
have
one.
one.
Yeah, she got the one old one, she probably would need a new one, it's up to you. She said it was like a Bible. I never read it all. Too much to read.
Yeah, there's a lot in there.
What year is the one that you have? Do you remember what year it was?
No, but, it wouldn't hurt to get an updated, book, because they change the laws all the time.
This was done within the last
Yes.
2 years that we bought those
Yeah.
books that
We
Mike
were just bought.
Mike
Yeah,
had
didn't
3 of
Mike
them.
have them, I thought, and he said they were all checked out.
Did you check them out too?
Krugman, Jimmy, I had one,
Oh, just bring it up here?
I'm not sure the other one is. I don't remember where the other one was, though.
Oh, I thought Sherry bought her own.
Still leaves 2 of them. She's got one supposedly, and then there's still 2 of them missing. You got yours?
No.
Just said you had one, said Jim White had one. Yours is gone now.
Mine should be here. Everything I had is here.
I don't want to miss things you gotta find.
And,
What's somebody come over and tell us we're getting hot or cold when we walk around?
Richard said come over here and tell her where they're at then.
We wanna move on, or we wanna stay here for a minute?
Let's move on.
That's what I was thinking. Okay. Jim White's new construction. Has he ever filed for a permit for you?
No.
No, he's still not filed with a permit for you. As far as I know, he's not filed for a permit with anybody.
If I understand, it's Chad that's doing the work though, right?
He's still on his property, somebody's still
Well,
on
I,
his
yeah,
property.
I understand, but whether it's Jim or Chad, I guess we need to make sure we're asking the right person. Maybe Chad's got permits.
Well, I went up there the other day,
If it's on Jim's property, Jim would have to hold the permits and pull the permits.
Yep, somebody needs to.
somebody needs to give him FEMA too. Well, he doesn't need our permits, he needs FEMA.
Office of Water Resources.
What do we do here, guys?
got a stop work order, so until he complies with permits, he shouldn't be building. And I believe this FEMA pretty much says that if we don't abide by the flood laws for permits, that we can all in Cleveland lose our flood insurance. This was drawn up by Mike Erickson, right, Mike?
Yes, that's correct.
So I'm sure Jim's aware of that we're all in jeopardy if he would keep building, not building in the floodplain without permits. So let's move on, because he should stop work order till he gets permits, simple as that.
Do we have any other old business, anybody wants to talk?
On the truck, it is recommended by Firestone that all the brakes be replaced. They fixed one, and we had the truck serviced. You're looking at another, I believe, 500 and some bucks is what he said, to get them all taken care of. The worst, the front left was the worst, caliper was froze up. They did get that one fixed. What, I believe, $330 total.
Yeah, that's, I guess that's what was on the bill, yeah.
The rears are working, but very rusted up, and the other front should probably be addressed before winter. But to do the other three, we're looking at 500 and some bucks.
We all wanna think about that for a month, or do we wanna do something about it?
It needs to be done, and I guess rather than trying to make a
Do we wanna
decision.
try
just
and
to-
drive it a little bit between now?
Well,
and
that's,
then?
yeah, exactly, that's where I was gonna go with it, maybe between now and next month, let's,
He said the back ones might clean up on their own a little, but he says, I don't know, we should
just
almost
get it out,
turn it
maybe,
around.
once a week, run it to,
Yeah.
I don't know, Geneseo and back or something along those lines, and at least, use it, and
Yeah, that's the
then,
worst thing.
and then maybe we can, all decide where we're gonna go with it from there, maybe he can look at them and say, well, gee, maybe it ain't quite as bad as I thought it was. Cause I'm sure if he was looking at it, it was all rusted up, then yeah, he's gonna wanna replace everything, I know that should be able to turn brake drums without having to replace them.
My comment on the truck,
Sure.
the step guard is shot. Did anybody wanna replace the step guard to step up the truck? Or is it gone?
Yeah,
It's gone.
it's a new
The
running.
Nerf bar? Yeah, the
There's a
Nerf
bar out there to step up.
Yeah, the Nerf bar.
You should really put one on there for safety. I don't know, I'm just throwing it out there because it's rusted away over the last 10 years.
Maybe we ought to just drive it for the next month and we can discuss it again at the next meeting.
Yeah, maybe it might be time to get rid of this thing. It's a big gas on.
What's it worth?
It's more truck than what we need.
Probably not gonna get much for it.
We're not gonna get much, but no more than what we use it for.
Something to consider. Consider for next month, and have some other options we can look at.
Anything else on your old business?
Moving on.
Okay. New business. Seems like we're gonna need an OMA officer, we've been turned into OMA. Do I have any volunteers? How about you, Turn? You have a good go-between. You like to take that position?
I have 2 jobs right now and a baby on the way, so I'm gonna have my hands full. So probably not.
We can table that for a month, just let everybody think about it.
Yeah. Need somebody, okay, building inspector. I think it's time to replace the old one. Steve, you had a name of somebody?
Yeah, he was gonna make it, but he tried, but he's not gonna be here. I'm sure he'll be here next month's meeting.
When, I was at the police station, Susie Bogart called Jimmy White for us while I was there. And Jimmy White said he was told by our building inspector that he didn't need a building permit because he was agriculture. He was on agriculture. Well, I looked at Susie and I said, no, if this was Kelowna, what would you say to that? You're in a floodway, you at least need a FEMA. She advised me to get a hold of our attorney and talk to our building inspector. Well, the building inspector was supposed to go down and have a permit signed, and I don't think that's ever happened. I don't even know if he's ever went down.
He called me, cause I had contacted him, asked him, because he said Jimmy had come to him originally to seek one, and that he in error had told him that he didn't need one. That he would go and tell him that he was in error, and they needed to get one. He said that he went down and talked to Jim, and Jim was very nice about it, and said, yeah, he'd go down that afternoon and get it. That's what it was left, because I assumed Jim was gonna do what he said he was gonna do.
And as far as we know, it's never happened.
Ron, I'm just telling you the way it was left last time, I thought that, I told him, I said, now, it shouldn't be penalized because our building inspector made an error.
Right.
I said, you pay the legitimate, whatever it is, and that should be it, should be no penalty on it. Everybody seemed to be in agreement with that, and then, I don't know whether Jim, I don't know why Jimmy's acting the way it is, I can't say, I don't know. I think if he promised the building inspector, I don't think he wants to get him in trouble, and, I think maybe it's gonna result in that, and I'm very sorry to see it. But,
Yeah, I think it's time to replace them myself. With the board's approval, I'd like to replace the building inspector with,
Darren Roselle.
Darren Roselle, Kelowna. You guys are inspection.
I'll make that motion to replace the building inspector.
I'll second that motion.
And all in favor?
Aye.
Motion's carried.
The building inspector gotta be licensed.
Yes.
He is a licensed building inspector.
He works part-time right now for Kelowna.
Compensation. Let's move on to item 9 then. Compensation. I know these trustees put in a lot of hours doing things for this village. Steve puts a lot of time in on that mower. He's on work on top of the hill. I know Leo's painted the steps out here, he's painted the fire poles. Brian's helped clean up. Aaron, I'm sure in the future you'll be helping with a lot of things in this village too.
Filling the playground.
Yeah. I think it's time that these trustees get a raise myself.
Well, I think the now is only gonna be for the next elected
Right, it's
officials.
for the
nothing's
next,
gonna
it
happen
doesn't
when
come
it
into
goes,
effect.
And I'm fine with that, I'm not doing
Yeah.
it for the money, so. I don't have any issues with that part of it. Next people coming in, maybe we can get more people interested in doing something
Right.
like this, if it pays a little more than pennies per hour.
Actually, a lot of times it's negative pennies per hour.
Yeah.
So,
Maybe at least they can cover their fuel.
yeah.
On that compensation, what was you thinking?
I don't really know, guys. I'd say at least $20 a month.
I would like to see the board seat go up $25 and $50 for the treasurer, clerk, and mayor.
increase of that amount.
Increase of that amount. And I will put that in a motion form and make the motion that in the future, for elected board members, or if a seat changes, there would be a $25 raise, we could call it, I guess, or compensation. And then
That'd be $60 a
$50
month,
for the,
then, right?
pardon?
It'd be $60 a month, then, right? Or no, $55.
$50 on the clerk, treasurer, and mayor. You got that, Sean?
Mhm.
What would that increase to get those 50?
That'd be a $300 increase, wouldn't
No, I mean,
I don't know
each
what
person
they
get
get now.
I'll get that from her later.
That'll have to be reappropriated.
Can't be done,
Well, I know that, but I mean, in the future,
In
there's
the future,
appropriations
yeah,
on
to
that.
change the.
We had a cap that we were reaching.
Okay, so you want me to go ahead and do a
You
roll
gotta get
call?
a second.
Oh, yeah, wait for a second.
you? Wait for a second.
I'll second that.
Yeah, 'cause I know a lot of times we're all working in the negative. And we don't do this for the money, that's not the thing. We don't do it for the money. But at the same token, we can't take money out of our pockets every month and put it in the village. So, you know, somewhere, you'd like to at least see a balance. So at least you're not working in the negative.
Great advertising.
I
see great advertising.
It's only fair.
Yeah, Gary.
I'd like to ask, does it have to be reduced to a resolution form or
Well,
ordinance
that'd be an
form?
ordinance, yeah.
Okay.
But they gotta determine pass it before that, yeah.
So I'm gonna go ahead and do a roll call vote,
Well,
just-
hold on,
Oh,
because,
okay.
we are elected positions, mayor, board members. The clerk and the treasurer would take that raise next month.
Oh, what are you talking about as far as
They are.
non-elected officials, you can do
Yes.
that, yeah.
Yes.
Did you, man?
So I'll make sure that's put in there that way.
Mhm.
You still second that, Brian?
I second that.
Okay, are we ready for
Didn't
the roll
take
call
long,
vote
did
on
it?
that one?
Yes.
Okay. Trustee Hinkleman,
Yes.
trustee Ballinger,
Yes.
trustee Davis,
Yes.
and trustee Comodino.
No.
Okay, so that's 3 out of 4, so does that carry?
3 out of 4, I think that is probably something that's gonna need a majority vote of, elected
Six.
officials.
And mayor,
Majority of the 6.
Hmm?
Majority of the 6.
And the mayor can't vote on that.
Fails for lack of a supermajority then.
okay.
I mean, I'm saying I don't have the with me right now, but
Makes sense because it's,
without, I can find it out, but I don't know.
Right.
We can put it back on the table for next month.
That's fine, so at this time it failed due to lack of majority vote. Okay.
I'll get that information for the next meeting.
Somebody brought up, naming the playground, dedicating it to somebody. Anybody have any names they wanna put out there, any names?
Joe Merrill. Joe Merrill.
Joe Merrill?
I'd say Joe Scott.
Joe Scott is also who we talked about. Joe
Yeah.
did a whole lot here before he passed, was on the board.
He was the one that brought the motorcycle deal in here, that made the money to put the playground
Yeah,
in.
Joe started with the initial, and Joe Merrill is also a very good choice, but Joe
Yeah.
Scott is the one that we had talked about.
Didn't Rollie Stoll originally donate the park to the village of Cleveland?
yeah, the
I
ground
thought
is down
Rollie
there by,
Stoll.
Shutters and behind where,
Behind where Shirley is at, yeah,
Mhm.
but that, yeah.
Gary, do you have a name?
Oh, I just heard stories that Brian had told about Riley Stoll being everything to all kids. Everybody loved him. And that's what I was gonna interject there.
Maybe we could just put the word out and see if we can get some more,
Yeah, let's just table that and everybody that's got
get some more
some
names or
write it down.
some more.
And in all
ideas.
honesty, if I may, in all honesty, you know, any one of those choices is a great choice. Any one of those is a great choice, because any one of those individuals, you know, has earned the right and deserves it.
Can you do more than one person?
We just
That's
call
what I
it
was thinking,
Cleveland Park
Stoll,
too.
Merrill.
Just put them all in there?
Two
Yeah,
initials
you
or
could, you
something.
could dedicate it to
Figure out some kind of,
Walter or something, but.
but yeah, I think if we just let the word out, let people know, maybe we can get some better thoughts on it then too. Yeah, those are all good ideas.
Yeah, all three good names.
Moving on.
Okay.
Maybe pass out a ballot for everybody to vote on it in the town.
Might not be a bad way to do it.
Yeah, let them sign their name to it, and give each individual a ballot, and let them vote. And put the names on there that's been recommended, and they can vote for the one they want to vote for.
I wouldn't be against that.
Yeah.
Something to consider,
Wouldn't be against that at all.
committee resolution, we can do that maybe next month, so something this way.
Shauna, you, do something on this media economy?
No, that is not resolved yet, it's had some issues with the internet here, so,
Want to skip that one?
yes, yep.
Skip
I'm
that.
still waiting for a call back and,
Public access to trustees, this is, this is one that's concerning you, Sharon. We put all the trustees' names out there in the box with their phone number. If we're elected and if somebody needs to get a hold of somebody, one of the trustees, we'd like to put your phone number out there, the rest of ours.
Can I put my email out there?
Put your email out there? I don't know.
I can put it out there if that's what you would like.
Sure. I'd like to be contacted by email.
Okay. If you want to write that down for me, you can just write right there.
I question why that's such a big deal. To give your phone number when you're a trustee is publicly.
Because of my neighbors.
Just in case somebody wants to contact, or has got a question, or wants to put something on the
I
agenda.
understand that, but I mean, you guys don't have any faults of giving it up, it was no big deal, she's gonna say because of one person.
Randy wrote an ordinance for it, didn't you?
Yeah, any changes you wanna make, just threw something together what I thought you were saying last time we were here, and more willing to amend it and change it, and look at anything you like. That's it.
Right there. Specs on it. Everybody had a chance to look this over, do we wanna pursue this? Wanna drop it for now? Wanna add to it, change anything?
I'd like to see it go later, like midnight.
Throw it to midnight?
Have you ever figure out the boundaries of the park, where the actual boundaries are? Like that, you guys know,
Or is the, which section of the park?
for the hours, where would, like, is it just
Basically
the
cover
playground,
whole-
or does that include the boat dock?
Well, it covers the whole place. Waterman can't walk outside his house to Holiday's old lot. All that FEMA ground turns into the whole place. You have to have a designated place.
Well, you could
What is
put
a
the,
park?
you could put recreation area.
You gotta have a little more definition.
Whatever, it's gotta kind of define the area if you're not including the whole park.
Right, so we could say the recreation area part, recreation area part of the park. which would be like the playground,
We could get
pavilion.
specific and say which lot numbers
Yeah.
and all that kind of stuff too, which
Would
I
be
suppose
better.
would probably be better that way, or the confines between Washington Street and the river, or
Yeah,
however you
and
wanna
that
call
way
it.
too.
Use roadways, or,
That's probably the easiest way.
I'd also like to see this not just blankly closed, because residents themselves, like I said, I'd like to walk down there at 3 o'clock in the morning with crayons and go fishing.
Yeah, I got some concerns about it too. I pulled my boat out of the water at midnight before, so I just don't,
3 o'clock in the morning, Leo?
Might, never know.
Okay,
See, well, here's where I go with this, Rich. I don't necessarily have a problem with there being a curfew there for, wild parties and loud noise, but we've already got ordinances for that. You know, that's my whole issue with this, is that I understand why you wanna do it, and I hope you can understand why I'm saying that I don't really think we need to do it.
Graham, I had a quick question.
I-
Can we do this ordinance and eliminate people of Cleveland? Since we own that ramp, can it stay open to the Cleveland residents and be closed to the outer public without being prejudiced?
I got plans for this, wait until the judge says it ain't.
I think you'd have to ask the DNR, you can't close the river, and that boat ramp is, I don't know.
That boat ramp is ours, DNR's got
Close that
nothing to do
tonight
with
if
it.
we want, and leave it closed.
Does Kelowna do that?
No, that's what I'm saying.
Clovis is not in a residential area.
Yeah, that is true.
That's a big difference. And that's the part I keep,
Well, that's why I keep bringing up that we've got noise ordinances and things along those lines, and if it's an issue, then we should enforce the noise ordinances.
all right, well, Natalie Lasui lives down there. And, somebody's sitting out, and they're still in the park area, but they're right at the end of her driveway, fishing. And she has to go to work at 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night. And there's a stranger out there. And I think we need to look at the residents also.
Sure, like I said, I follow where you're going with it. I also feel that, you know, it's something that if we shut this down at 10 o'clock at night or whatever it
I
is.
just threw that in, I mean, everybody's
Well,
putting time in they
and
want.
it just seems to me that it's a little overkill.
How about
I
no
don't
loitering?
think so, but it's up to you guys.
Well, that's-
I don't know.
Well, but, you know,
I
okay,
don't
so
know
you're
the
sitting
answer.
on the
I live
fishing,
right there, I don't see.
you're sitting down there fishing with a fishing pole in the water,
Yeah.
I ain't loitering.
No, it ain't.
That's correct, you've already got ordinances.
Right.
Enforce the ordinances. and you're
One of the things that, I saw here just recently, cause I went down there the other morning and there was still a fire burning on the bank. Now, nobody around, but there were still embers and it was smoking and, you know, somebody had left a fire burn overnight. So, you know, is it a problem? Yeah, it probably is a problem. But to what extent, what degree, things along those lines, that's where I'm a little concerned that we're going beyond what we need to. And if Natalie is really concerned about somebody sitting down on the end of the lot there, she should call the police.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And then what are the police gonna do when somebody shows up and they've got a right to be there? As long as they're not making noise, they're just sitting there
Wow.
fishing, but you still don't know them.
What that does though, is that puts those people on alert that we're watching them.
Well, DNR says we can close the ramp, we can put a curfew on it. But-
I'm not contesting that part of it. I understand where you wanna go with it. Like I said, I just hope you understand where I'm going with it too.
Can we meet a compromise somewhere? Can you put like a midnight, to loitering ramp, you can leave the ramp open, but after midnight, no foot traffic,
Yeah, it's like Byron Hipkins goes out hunting on that all winter long, and I see him out there at 3 o'clock.
And a lot of people go out and fish all night long. They'll go down and go run their lines at midnight.
Loitering.
They can fish in.
Well, you don't wanna let them go down on the boat ramp after 10 o'clock at night, I mean, to me, you guys are getting to where you think you can dictate to people, and, you know, I'm getting tired of people dictating to me in this supposed to be free world we're living in. You know what I mean? They pass all these laws here that's, like the seatbelt law. You got the right to choose, the Constitution says that, but they keep passing these laws that takes us rights away from you. And this is what's wrong with our country today. We're getting too many of these stupid ass laws passed, trying to force stuff down people's throats.
How many calls and complaints have you had, Rich, over the last 3 months about problems like that?
I don't call me, that's the trouble.
Well, okay, so
But how many have I heard of?
somebody is apparently complaining enough that you wanna do this, so I guess that's where I'm going with this.
Well, what was it, about a month ago, here we had, some campers down here on the bottom side, and they kept up 3 of our residents all night long. Shirley Hipkins was one of them,
Yeah, okay.
Jason Shetter was one of them, and
Okay.
Shirley kept Malone's up all night that night. Just last weekend, we had some more campers down, but they was really nice people. I was sorry to tell them that the park closed at 10 o'clock.
Well, like Leo says, we have noise ordinance, enforce the noise ordinance and shut them up. If they're out there, I mean, it's hard to keep track of all that land ever since all these houses have left.
Yes,
It's
it
pretty
is.
remote down there.
Honestly, I'm in support with exactly what Lester and Rick have said. I'm in support of Leo's position on that. You know, don't,
You don't even vote.
It's, yeah, but we're the residents that live by it, so.
Well, and.
You don't live right by it. That's the
Close
trouble.
Well, again, and I don't either, I mean, I'm far enough removed from it that, you know, I don't hear that aspect of it, but again, I guess just based on a couple complaints, I'm not willing to shut it all down for here and ever more, just because of a couple complaints.
Okay,
So that's where I'm at with it, you know, if this was something that was going on and we were having a bunch of wild, crazy people down there every other night or something, and this was, you know, good Lord, we gotta call the cops every second hour because they just won't go away, then yeah, I could see something do like this, but I haven't heard enough myself to justify shutting this down completely.
Okay, so you wanna leave the whole park with the pavilion area and everything open?
I think there's compromises to be made on this, but I think at this point in time, this is gonna be, just a circular conversation that we're not gonna solve anything tonight on this. I like the idea that, you know, okay, from this street to this street or whatever, maybe we'd have something like that. The boat ramp's a different entity, but leaving this as just a, you know, Cleveland Park, and all of a sudden we're talking about all the buyout lots being involved in this because we're calling it the Cleveland Park. I don't wanna put that in that kind of situation. I'd like to see this be a little bit more thought out and a little more, defined, I guess, and, you know, some hours that are a little bit more reasonable for people that do wanna go fishing at 3 o'clock in the morning if they choose to. Sometimes when the fish are biting, it don't matter what time it is.
No, I stayed out all night.
Well, then, that's my point, I
I'm out
guess.
all night. When I go out all night, I'm out all night. I don't come in at 3 in the morning. If I'm gonna go out, it's gonna be, I'm gonna come in at 5 in daylight or something.
That's you. But again, I guess I haven't heard enough of, serious complaints about this that I wanna take this kind of drastic a measure at this point.
Well, I'd like to see us at least do it on the pavilion area. And
Well-
the playground equipment, the kids aren't gonna play in that place.
Well,
After
and-
10 o'clock.
And again, if we've got issues with people coming down here at, you know, 11 o'clock at night and making a bunch of noise, all somebody's gotta do is pick the phone up and call the police. Cause I'm pretty sure they'll come down here then and ask them, so what you up to, folks? And maybe they'll
That's
just take
called
their cars
disturbing
and
the peace
leave.
when you call them. You know, somebody disturbing the peace, you have that right to call.
But I'd rather see us take a few steps like that before we take some steps that we're just shutting this all down at 10 o'clock at night.
Don't you? You guys are good.
I'm just one vote, that's just me, I ain't heard anybody else mention anything, so I'll just shut up.
We can either table it or till the next meeting, maybe somebody can come up with something better.
Works for me.
Taryn had a comment to me about a couple weeks or a week ago or something.
Well, maybe
about why we asked the
Taryn,
people
maybe
that
Taryn can speak for herself,
live
Rick.
down here. Ask the people who live down here.
I have talked to some people.
Didn't ask me.
Motion to close.
I got one more comment. Just put letters on the sign up here. The letters
you
on the
anymore.
village sign.
Not you, yeah, how's
No,
that?
I understand that. Okay. We put a nice, beautiful sign up there for village business and whatever, not hokey pokey. Now, who's putting that up there?
Not
You guys all approve of that? What if the hokey pokey?
I think it's kinda childish.
It's childish, we don't need that crap up there.
No, that's your opinion, isn't it?
Yeah, well, why don't we just pokey pokey up there every day?
Okay. Is that your
Makes
opinion
the
too?
village- Makes the village look stupid.
Is that your opinion too? We should put the hokey pokey up there every day?
Whoever's putting it up. I mean, if you guys all approve of it,
We should just put with sour grapes, right?
sour grapes is not the reason we put the sign.
Sounds like that's why you're complaining.
Motion to close. Gotta go, people. Stay
Thanks.
all night if you want. Thanks for coming.